So I haven't really been on the paddleboard too much. And I'm not really feeling it before going out and doing some riding. You know, sometimes you just get like sad, depressive thoughts, and you need to do something else a little bit more relaxing perhaps. So I've got Kylo somewhere here, right behind me. This place has definitely been a mix of emotions. On the one hand, it's nice to see like some old friends, I guess getting their help with stuff, you know, and it's great because a lot of them seem to be pretty successful. But I just keep thinking about growing up. I never drank, did drugs, went to college. It's pretty straight edge. And I thought I was doing everything right, you know, graduated college, got a job, got married, had a kid, and then it all kind of just imploded. You know, lost my house, lost my marriage, lost my child. And I come back, and the guys I grew up with, you know, like they were getting in fights, they were drinking, doing drugs, never went to college, and they're all like doing really well. They have families, they have a home, you know, like beautiful houses, and they got kids. And I think by trying to do everything right, I did everything wrong. I probably would have been better not going to college, just working some normal job, like, I don't know, electrician, plumbing, I don't know, something. Because nothing I've done means anything anymore. Like, working at Nike, I can't even get a job as a barista. You know, like the college education, it means nothing. Like, nobody cares. And all I've acquired is loss. And then I've ended up back here, and it's great seeing people being successful. And like, where was the social agreement that if you do things that you're told to, that it would work out for you? Yeah. So maybe you just gotta break more rules to be successful in this life. I suppose that things are really disheartening because, you know, there's a lot of people that have their own houses and families here. And I was going through the real estate and just looking at the prices of homes, and everything's like $700,000. And I just don't understand how anyone's doing it, especially in a small town like this, where the wages are really low. The median income's like 30 grand a year. I was going through also some family photos from way back in the day, and it just seemed like such a good time period looking at photos growing up. I don't know. I know that my family didn't make a ton of money, but we lived in like these small little cabins and built a big house here. And it just seems like it was a time when things were more manageable. And I think that it was a time when men and women saw more eye to eye. Like, we had a shared culture. And in America, we don't really have a culture anymore. It's just this hodgepodge of like basically everything of, you know, how many religions do we have now, and then non-religious, and I guess everything's equal unless it's not. So disheartening. I saw some photos of when my parents got married. And I have to say, like, my parents were really good, attractive people. And looking at them when they were married, they're basically kids. And just going through a photo album of old photos, I don't know, it's like, it's cool. It's different than looking at it on your phone, because you get to like flip through physical pages, and just that, you know, they're photos from not like such a long time ago, but you could just tell like it's not perfect clarity or the perfect prints. There's something beautiful about the imperfections of photography like that. If it's not a train, it's a semi. If it's not a semi, it's a dump truck. And if it's not a dump truck, it's a logging truck. And if it's not a dump truck, it's some redneck in a fucking souped up bullshit diesel spewing fumes all over the place without any tailpipes. I am just frustrated about so much stuff. Mostly noise right now. But yeah, it seemed like back in those days, it seemed like such an innocence to life, where there was possibilities and a future. Like, we're gonna get married when we're 20 years old and we're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna work the same job my entire life, and I'm gonna be promoted, and I'm gonna have job security. Now we just have robots doing all the work, where you gotta be a cashier and work 2-3 jobs along with DoorDash. And it just seems like there's no more hope, because all of that still won't allow you to get your own house. Maybe if you go someplace not like this, or like California, maybe in the middle, I don't know. I'm sure it's crazy too. I've kind of come to the realization though that this economy is kind of one where you can move someplace and be homeless and make good money, or you can be in a place and live and have a house and make no money. Either way, it kind of sucks, because maybe you make good money and you live in a car and you can like buy things that you want and do things and feel like you're not stretched completely thin, or you come to small town America and you just work a normal job, and sure, maybe you can afford housing and whatnot, but then again, you are stretched completely thin financially. it doesn't seem like there's much of a winning equation. You know, I suppose I should just try to be a little bit more relaxed and give myself some leeway time to find work. It is odd when you go from working basically constantly to now having time off. You know, I feel kind of guilty for doing more activities, even though it's only for like 2-3 hours a day, and then trying to do more on Uber and dropping off resumes. I get down when I think about the jobs that are available, and they don't really pan into careers, which, you know, when you have a degree and you spend so much of your life in the schooling system, you feel like you've been betrayed somewhat by the system, even though there was no promises of anything. And yeah, it seems like just a bunch of wasted time. But, you know, I guess there's only forward from here. And yeah, it is probably for the best to be able to spend time with your parents as you get older, because, you know, I talk to a lot of my friends, and, you know, they talk about their parents passing on, you know, and a lot of them are younger than me. So through illness, I guess age, accidents, you just don't know. And, you know, life is really fragile, and you can't take anyone's life really for granted, and they can be taken away from you at any time. And yeah, you know, I was getting pretty down because, I don't know, like just looking at old photos and everything, like, I don't know, I talked to some of my friends who have lost parents, and like, all I can think is, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I would completely crack, since I don't really have much of a support system other than what they've given me, I suppose, for a while. When the world tends to abandon me, I felt like after a divorce that was kind of the last people to reach out, other than a few friends, you know, here and there. And it's just like so many memories that I've tried to just bury down and think like I don't have to worry about death of like family members, because they'll probably outlive me. And so, yeah, anyways, I was trying to walk Kylo here, but we made it like kind of down the road a bit, and when a chocolate lab came out barking, and he just like took off back towards the house. He's still just like a puppy, you have to remember, and kind of a scaredy cat deep down. Which I don't know, is a good thing or a bad thing. Even though he's been on some pretty gnarly adventures, at least in the woods, at beaches, walks, and on the paddleboard.